Have you ever kind of opened your social media like Instagram or Twitter or X and felt like your life is behind? Like you look at all of your high school friend mates and all your varsity mates that kind of grew up in the same setting as you or grew up around the time as you, and you start realizing, damn, these people are living life. Like, I'll give two direct examples, right? So, I had a friend, we'll call him Simon for now, for all intrusive purposes. We'll call him Simon. So, me and Simon used to be high school buddies, and he was very deep in the trading industry. Now, by trading, I mean Forex. Now, if you guys don't know what Forex is or what it's about, it's basically a platform of markets where you get to trade against the world, basically, and find out who's buying and who's selling at the right times. So Simon used to be that guy in high school who he'd bunk class to kind of focus on his money schemes. And at the time, we were like 16, 17 at the time. I didn't really understand what was fully going on, but he would keep like blowing a lot of money at the time, which I thought was kind of stupid because when I had money, I would just buy food at the tuck shop. But Simon would take that and save it and then put it in his trading account. So Simon once ended up at a point where he had about, let's say, around about $2,000 in profit on his account. And he flexed it to me one day, like, yo, I think I'm beginning my life journey. Now, at that point, I didn't really believe that Simon really had that amount of money for real. But I was just like, okay, maybe it's really just a game. And Simon is lost in the sauce. Now, fast forward to maybe a year later from that, Simon had bought a car. Now, Simon's family was already well off. So, in my mind, I just thought, probably his mom or his dad who provided it for him. No, Simon had actually bought that car cash. And he was already flexing it to the high school sweethearts that, hey, I'm getting up there. And something in me intrinsically thought, nah, he's probably gonna slow down and fall off. No, Simon is currently now a millionaire, living a millionaire's life on Instagram. And he does send me the occasional, yo, what's up? Are you good? And I'll be like, yeah, I'm fine. But now looking back at it, like, Simon had that shit figured out. Maybe to too much of a T at some point. And now I'm here stuck thinking, damn, if I had taken the Simon route, but then at the same time, I didn't believe. I could also make an example of another friend who, let's just for intuitive purposes, call her Charlene. So Charlene was the shy type of friend in high school. She didn't really talk much. She didn't really have much going on. And now, currently, she has an Instagram following of 2 million followers, is married, is expecting a kid, and has a blooming business in farming. And these are the type of things that make me think, damn, I took the varsity route. They didn't take the varsity route. They went full head of steam and they just believed in whatever they wanted to believe in. And it worked out. And the chances of me knowing two friends that I went to high school with that are now currently most probably have a net worth of 1 million is crazy to me. Because these are people that used to copy my homework back in high school or try to let me cheat in tests so they could do better. And now I have to look up to them. It kind of puts things into perspective of I wonder what my life would have been like had I taken just a bit more risks. Now, sure, I'm still quite young, between the ages of 23 and 27. I still have a lot of time to take these type of risks, but at the same time, I can't afford to take too major risks because now I have a job. So, as much as I don't have a dog or a cat or a wife or my family doesn't pressure me into sending money back home, if I decide to lose a certain amount of money per month, I might not eat for that month. Whereas they already took that risk at high school level and they are where they need to be because they took that risk. So sometimes it's okay to feel a bit left behind. You could take it as inspiration, perhaps, if you're someone who believes in turning their lives around, which I am fully on for, but within reason, of course. I mean, who wants to try turn their life around when they already have a kid and a bond? But, well, a bond is a mortgage, if for those who don't know. But as well, it's like I've gotten to that point where I'm okay with being behind, but I'm also a little sad that I didn't take the risks. But then at the same time, like I said in the previous video, sometimes life just pivots you, man. Maybe life was pivoting me away from that so I could be mentally prepared for what I need to be mentally prepared for right now. Because I could never imagine being a millionaire at that age and not being stressed out or not losing my mind. Like, there's no way I would have been making sound decisions at the time. And maybe they were mentally stronger than me. Maybe it's because of how they were raised up or what type of environment they were raised up in. Because I was raised up in an environment where I had to kind of please everyone just to make sure there was peace in the home. So maybe that flight or flight might have come into play. But one thing I do know though is that life is not necessarily a down spiral if you have control of the axis. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I feel like I failed. I do feel behind though, for sure. But I'm not gonna juxtapose myself and let that deter me from getting to my goals because I know what I want from life. And maybe that's the key takeaway from seeing both Simon and Charlene's social media accounts is that they might have gotten to where they needed to be because that's how it was supposed to happen. But I know where I'm going and I know how I'm gonna get there. So if I stay on course, I might be popping drinks with them quite soon.